Well, hello and welcome to my YouTube video, the very first one I've ever made in my life. My name's Tony and I'm going to build a tank. So I've just received this from Armortek. It's a Tiger 1 late variant 2021. Amazing guys at Armortek. They're a UK based company. After many years of deliberating over it and begging my wife, she eventually agreed that I could go ahead and buy one. I ordered it on the 5th of January this year, 2022, and it arrived the next day. So I'm really excited about the fact that I've got this here now. I've never built anything like this. I've built a couple of models in my past, but nothing of this nature or this scale or complexity. I've never even done a YouTube video, so this is a first on many levels for me. The reason why I'm doing a YouTube video is that I thought it'd be a really good record of how I progressed through this as a complete novice in this field. There are many people doing this on the internet and across YouTube who are really experienced, super talented guys, and make the finished items look so incredibly real. They could even be used in films. I'm not out to do that. This is a challenge I've set myself. I think the start of the pandemic a couple of years ago, there was a real challenge to anybody that is actively involved in working, and then complete life change situation. I'm still working, but you know, I'm now beginning to think that my private time and my downtime is so important for my own mental health that I thought I need to sort of embark on a project that's going to keep me challenged and keep me learning every day, because I think every day is an opportunity to learn something. This is a perfect opportunity. Throughout this video, I'm going to be just sort of talking through my experiences of from opening the box right through to the completion, hopefully. But please bear in mind, and I'm going to say this many times, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm good with tools. I'm good with my hands. I've built, I've built properties and I've built many things in my life, but this is a real challenge. So if you're watching this, if you're the only person watching this, I hope it's of use. Hopefully there's one or more, or maybe two or three of you watching this, and you all find it useful. But if you're an advanced modeler or an experienced modeler, please don't judge me, because I really don't have a clue on this. I am going to follow some of the other YouTubers which I found in the US who are quite experienced, and I will follow those on YouTube and sort of learn as I go. I'm also signed up to the Armortek forum. So hopefully the help and advice they'll provide throughout the whole journey will be really useful to me. And who knows, if you make your mind up and you decide that you want to buy an Armortek tank, this may also be helpful. But so I guess the first thing that I thought about before I went ahead and did this was, have I got room to build it, and where am I going to build it? Well, I'm quite lucky. Got a decent sized double garage, nice workshop, plenty of room. But that'll be a major consideration. The cost is, these things are not cheap. So before you go ahead and go down that route of investment, make sure you've got the right space and the right facility to be able to build this. Because as you build it, it gets bigger and bigger, from what I've seen, and it gets more complex and heavier. So this thing, when it's finished, is with all the gear in it, with all the equipment, all the options, it weighs up over like nearly 250 kilos. I mean, that's a big thing, hard to move around and impossible to build on your kitchen table. So I'd say that's a really serious consideration before you go ahead and make that commitment. So I bought this. This is a 6 foot by 4 foot mobile workbench. So this allows me to move it around my garage and allow me to get 360 degrees access around the model. And being on casters, it's so easy to move, and I mean the whole weight of this is on here now, and it's still reasonably easy for this to move around. I've just put some power on it and some lighting, some additional lighting, task lighting, to help me through the process. So that will be the very first thing. Once you understand you've got the space, a garage is ideal. If you have something like that, I would recommend this. This is by a company called Arbor, based in the UK, hand built here in the UK, and very quick to deliver. I think this was like within a week, and it took me 15-20 minutes to assemble. It comes pretty much in 5 or 6 parts, very easy to read instructions. So that's that. I'm going to apologize in advance if because I do tend to forget myself and I swear a lot. I will try and keep that to a minimum, and I'll just talk as I do this, and sometimes I just talk complete gibberish. and if I do, apologies for that, I'll just get carried away in the moment. Now I'm not going to film everything I do here. I'm going to film the key parts of this build, and I'm probably going to do a time lapse. I'm not doing it. My son, who's a really clever guy with this kind of stuff, will hopefully help me with that. So that will hopefully speed through some of the boring bits. And I'll do some videos of what I feel are key stages and the struggles I'm going to encounter inevitably as I build this. So having said that, I'm going to open the very first box. This is one of 4 boxes from Armortek. Very, very well packed. They've equaled out the weight. As you know, in the UK, the maximum weight load for one individual is 25 kilos. So they've kept that under that and cleverly spread that amongst the these 4 boxes. Box number 1, it's a simple label. So box number 1 tells me it's a Tiger 1. It's a 2021 late variant, and most importantly, it's got 45. So that means this is tank number 45 in its series. When they make these, they make a limited run, and if you buy a tank, that number, in my case 45, is assigned to me. So anytime I speak to Armortek, they know exactly who they're talking to. And if I fall into trouble or get into any kind of concerns, they can legitimize me as a buyer and an owner of an Armortek, one of their tanks. So I understand that box number 1 contains the instructions and the all-important certificate. So I'm going to go ahead now and open this up using a sharp Stanley blade. I don't need to talk to you about safety when it comes to using tools like this. I'm just lifting the box slightly to avoid, because I don't know what's underneath there, damaging anything. I'm going to move myself away from the blade, put the blade away safely, and begin to open up. And we are welcomed by 1,000,001 packing peanuts. So I don't know what I'm going to find in here. Just going to move these around a little bit. Here we go. So we have got, I'll move that down so you can't see that. We have got the all-important Armortek certificate, and in here are the instructions. And I understand, oh look, there's some brass cuttings which I believe are for some of the higher detailing on the tank. I'm not going to open that just yet. I'm going to place that to one side. Move this a little bit so I can just get to that. I might even use my lamp as a bit of to keep that down there while I take some of these things out. Okay, so that, I think, again, only from my research, these are the gun cleaning rods, which when they're finished and aged, they look amazing with brass ends. This is the packing list for box 1. Again, from what I understand, looking at my YouTube history, watching it anyway, Armortek are very, very accurate with what they pack in which box. So I'm not going to go into that. I trust them emphatically, so there's no need. But I will keep that as a record of what's in this particular box. So the first thing looks like it's fairly big. Right, okay. So again, brilliantly, I don't know if you can, it's probably not going to focus on that, but there is a label, and on that label it says floor. It's got a part number CE3153, floor quantity 1. So I'm guessing that's the tank floor. Now I hope that this is going to be so easy. So when I'm putting the two together, I look at the instructions and I'm looking for that particular part number. That's what it's called. I'm not going to unwrap all these pieces. I'm just going to take them out of the box. So effectively, we've now got each one of these are labelled. They've all got their own label on, and we can go into those in a bit more detail when we start building this thing. I'm quite concerned. I just don't want to pick anything up or drop anything. I don't want to get these peanuts. This must be part of the main tank deck, and it does. It says front deck of the Tiger 1. Again, clearly labelled, beautifully wrapped, very carefully wrapped. They must spend an absolute fortune in wrapping and time putting this together. This is beautifully wrapped. I mean, it wants to be for the money it spends with these things. These are all cross members and panniers. I will not bore you on opening the whole thing up. I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll touch base with you another time. I'll probably do a bit of time lapsing on this, and then sort of go through this in more detail. And again, please forgive me. I'm not an experienced YouTuber, far from it. I'm just doing this as a record. Hopefully one day my children and grandchildren will be able to have this as a bit of prosperity, because bottom line, when I finish this tank, I have a place for it to go. It's going to be donated. I'll talk about that more nearer the time, but my ultimate goal is to complete this tank to the best of my ability, getting as close as to the possible sort of finish of a Tiger tank, in particular the Tiger 131, which is a very famous Tiger 1 tank. And I guess if you look that up, you'll find all about that. But I will talk about a bit of the history of this as I go through this. And ultimately, this is going to find a home in the most appropriate place for something like this. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again. I'm going to turn it off from here, and I'll see you again very soon.